6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
International superstar, Miss Butter B. Rocker.
You are now tuned in to Butter B. Rocker on Transparency Talks Podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Transparency Talks Podcast. I am your girl, Butter B. Rocker. Listen, we have an amazing show for you today. I'm super excited to be speaking to this young man. I'm like really, really excited. But before we bring him on, I do want to tell you guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting me on my first feature film. As you guys know, I wrote, produced, directed, starred in, and of course, put my own music in my first film. It's now on Amazon Prime, Tubi, Plex, Reveal. And as they continue to get on other platforms, of course, I'm going to let you guys know. But thank you so much. It is definitely a dream come true to go from thought to seeing it on the big screen at the movie theater to now it being on different streaming platforms. So again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it for showing the love. Also, as you guys know, my single Time Stand Still is still holding on at number 45 on the chart. So thank you to everybody that's been supporting me on my journeys with an S. So without further ado, he is the CEO of VividRich AQ. Can you please show some love for Mr. Rory Walker? Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thursday, ready for the week to end, but every day's a Monday for me.
I understand that completely. I do. So here at Transparency Talks Podcast, we like to dive right on in. Can you tell everybody a little bit of background about yourself?
I started in music many moons ago, and I started this company in 2015, and I'm a lover of process. I'm good. That's where I thrive at, and film, TV, teamwork, company, business, all of that is teamwork and process. So starting 2015, a couple years later, we opened our first studio. And now we have 3 studios in Atlanta, Georgia, about 80,000 square feet, sound stages, production offices, classes, a great staff, and, waiting for the strike to get over so we could get back to work.
Okay. All right. I do have a question about that. Since you're talking about strikes, are you able to work with indie projects at your studios, or are your studios is completely shut down?
We had a few that was already in production. We had some that was already in the can. There are certain, I just want to make sure I'm politically correct on that. There were certain reality shows that we were able to do. Then there were some that SAG told us that we were approved for and then shut us down.
Gotcha.
So we haven't been able to work in the capacity that it should be. We've been shut down for about 2 months.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And it's definitely good to be politically correct. Yeah. So I'm going to get off that topic. All right. So you started in the music industry. What did you do in the music industry?
I owned a record label.
Okay. So you're just the owner of all things. Okay. I can dig that.
I would like to say I'm the person that's going to step first and get the people that want to do it together.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I can learn a lot from you because you're doing some of the things that I want to do. So I'm going to be picking your brain for real. Okay. So then in 2015, you got into the TV film world. What made you transition?
once again, the love of process. When I was in Miami and I had the record labels, seeing that artists need music videos, marketing, I mean, just everything, photo shoots, write-ups, blogs, this, that. And I fell in love with that part than
Mm-hmm.
just dealing with a one-off artist. And then when I did when I opened the first space in 2017, our second music video, sorry, was Cash Doll, Tokyo Jets, and Tokyo Vanity. And it
Wow.
was by a guy named Philly Flyboy. Shout out to my guy, Philly Flyboy, the director from Milwaukee. And the first shoot was he made it snow. And I've never seen that before. So now that I've seen how it happened and actualized it, it like exploded. It was infectious right away. So, and that went straight into my process thing, like from thought, like you said, from the concept to figuring out how to get it done. And I just got bit after that video, and it just took me down a big rabbit hole.
Yeah. The same for me. I injured myself in 2019, torn meniscus, torn ACL, and I dislocated my shoulder. So
Wow.
that took me off the road from singing. And then so I had some downtime. So creative people create, So I kept coming up with concepts and different things. And then I finally said, you know what, I'm gonna do a movie. I just dived in. I mean, all the way dived.
Right.
And it has transitioned into this whole other thing.
Yeah.
But seeing the behind the scenes of everything, I'm bit. I got the bug bad now. So yeah.
I get you. It's bad for me right now. I mean, we just finished a horror movie that I executive produced. I have 3 other TV shows coming up, and it's bad, but I love it though.
Yeah. It's a good bad.
Yeah. Well, people don't understand how hard it is because
No.
film is a logistical thing. It's a personnel. So when you tell them that you wrote, produced, directed, starred in, they have no idea what that really, really, really is.
Yeah. Especially, oh my God. I think it's because it was my first one. It was so many stumbling blocks and personnel you have to deal with, and just different things that I didn't expect. So
Right.
yeah, it was really tough. It
Yeah.
didn't come out when it was supposed to come out. It was a lot of stuff. It's like Jesus. Okay,
Right.
so what are the top 3 things you believe everyone should know about being a CEO and an independent filmmaker?
Ooh, consistency is first. Well, let's say this: discipline is the most important thing. Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it every day. That's
Yeah.
a Mike Tyson quote, right? So discipline first, because motivation will come and go. You're not going to feel like doing things some days, no matter how you love it, and discipline will kick in. So consistency is uberly important. That we all believe that we have to fulfill a goal every day, and that's really not how it really works. Just one foot in front of the other every day. Feeding the goal a little bit every day is a lot better than trying to knock a home run every single day. And then last, for sure, is team. Having the right components, the right people, treating people right, making people feel like a sense of team, that it's all good for us is very important. So team, discipline, and consistency.
Okay. So as you know, I'm new to this as well. So how does one build their team? Because I can say that some of the team that I built was not a good team.
Right.
So what do you look for?
Man, it's this transparency
This is transparency, baby.
it's sacrifice, and I know people use that loosely, or they use it at all times. You know, I went through a very long period and still do in some areas where everybody got paid except me.
Mm-hmm.
I went through some times where, you know, some people, this was so infectious that they were able to do. I gave them the opportunity to work in the thing that they dream about, that they were willing to do it for free. But it's truly just sacrificing consistency. You lead, they follow. If they know they're heard, if they know that they're not sacrificing their dream for yours,
Mm-hmm.
where they all, you know, they all mesh, they all meet in the same place. It's very easy, because I'll tell you one thing from dealing with film for the last 10 years now, that film is probably the only job on the planet where people would do for free. They love it that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they have to see it moving. They have to see the leader going in that direction every day. So
Mm-hmm.
it's sacrifice. It's just, you know, you have to be willing to put everybody first, because everybody has the same dream in film.
Mm-hmm.
We all want to make a feature film.
Yeah.
Actors all want to be on an episodic.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a lot easier in this than other places.
It seems hard, but again, I'm new to it, so it seems I'm like it's totally different from the music world. So
Oh, totally.
yeah.
Totally different.
Yeah. So everything seems a little more challenging for me. So how can someone balance the demands of being a CEO and independent filmmaker with the creative process of filmmaking?
You got to understand that there's no balance in that. I mean, that's just the fact, right? I
Yeah.
love film, I love TV, I love to create. Yes, I am also the CEO, but I'm also a dad. You know, I'm also all of that. So finding balance, I said it before, that balance is after you win. You don't, you can't create the life that you want and have balance at the same time. If you want to do something far greater than you've ever seen or that you dreamt about, you know, you have these people, or me, for instance, I didn't see anybody doing these things when I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a far dream. So I couldn't expect to be able to just go to work, take a vacation, dabble in film a little bit, and expect me to stumble on being an executive producer.
Right.
It doesn't work like that. So
Right.
um, I once again, I want to be politically correct, but it's just the truth. There's no balance in building at the same time. That
Mm-hmm.
is just not. You're going to have to. One is going to suffer. You know, the saying that they told us our whole life, that um, you know, you're young, you could wait till you're old to get it done. That was one of the biggest lies we were ever told. You're better off starting early and do a little bit early instead of waiting a long time, and then now you have to do a lot every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So no balance. I have no balance now. It's all VividRich and the kid. And but the thing is, from where I stand, I started so much earlier. I'm getting closer to the balance. My sacrifices are a lot smaller because I did it every day for 10 years. I haven't taken a vacation, I haven't done anything.
Wow. Okay. So what should
So
people know about VividRich and how can they utilize your facility?
what they should know about VividRich is, especially for independent filmmaker, independent creative, which is 99% of the market, right? 1%
Mm-hmm.
of the market is the people that get hired. They should know that this is a place where they could come and be seen and be heard and sharpen their abilities, because I know everyone's creative and everybody's an artist and everybody, and we want to put so much value on that, but it's not, we can't teach you and pay you at the same time, you know.
Mm.
So an example, if you're a first time filmmaker, and you have aspirations of directing a film that you're going to get paid for. You probably don't even know how to logistically do that because you've never been on it. That's not saying you should not get paid, but you can't expect a company to pay you that they've never done this to run this 75-man crew. So they should know that VividRich is here to prepare you for where you really want to go, but with the real world experience. So we have, a members lounge where people can collaborate. We have a place to do classes where we're going to start the next year. We have studio spaces. We have a bank. We have psych walls. We're building a hospital. So think about it like this. If Tyler Perry was to open one of his buildings and say, all of you young filmmakers run in here and learn everything that you need to learn, and I'm going to start picking people from there, all of Georgia will be in there. And that's what this place is.
Okay. I want to know more about this members lounge.
Yes. So I'm pretty sure we're the first right now. So being an independent creator myself, me and my partner came up with the idea to say, you know what, let's help the people that don't have the access to things to get better. Our first studio was only 10,000 square feet. So we literally used to have people call us every day and say, hey, can we just come and be around? Can we just sit in a corner and edit? Can we come and watch, a shoot? Like I probably used to get 50, 60 calls from that a month.
Right.
At the studio. So, that showed us that the access gap is very big. Like some people that are filmmakers have never even been in a soundstage. They've never been in a production meeting.
Right.
They've never seen a mood board. They've never seen these things. So that's what the members lounge is doing for us. You don't have to take your meetings at Starbucks anymore. You don't have to meet a client, in wherever you're going to meet them. And that rolls over to a level of professionalism, right? That's the next step, going from an independent filmmaker. Even if you make good content, the networks and the people with the money, they don't want to pay you, or they don't want to use you because you don't have the access to how to get paid. Your paperwork probably isn't right. Where do we come in and see you? All of that stuff. So we mobilize a filmmaker, independent filmmaker. We make them an entity to be prepared and take a level of service of where they want to go.
Okay. Sound like I need to be joining this members lounge and getting some more skills up under my belt,
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
so what all of the services that you guys do offer there? I know the members lounge. What else you offer?
So we have classes coming up.
Okay.
We're always doing events. We're working on an event shortly about some stuff, but we've had some keynote speakers from network execs coming in and teaching exactly what it is, pitch decks, beat sheets, how to package your film. Some people have never even heard about a packaging, right? Conference rooms, we did the 48-hour film festival where there was 75 teams doing a film in 2 days,
Wow.
Scoring classes. We have editing rooms. I mean, just all of it 360. Like like I said, it's working in a professional environment without having the experience.
I love it. Okay. You happen to have a place over here in Marietta?
It's not in Marietta. We're close to Marietta. We're still in Atlanta.
Okay. Okay, cool.
We're in Atlanta.
What inspired you to build a 22,000 square foot film campus?
I'm an independent filmmaker still with all of this. I'm still one of the little guys.
Yeah.
So, just me having access to the things that I want to do. And once again, to one of the very important things to me is team. So, and finding my tribe to do it. So if you build it, they would come. So it was like, I can find people to do these things with. we can do it at a high level, and then collaboratively we could get bigger jobs, because
Yeah.
to a network it'll look like we're a facility. So they could come to us and use us for our creatives, plus we could create our own in-house and own our own IPs. So it was just sheer necessity that I needed it for myself, plus I seen a big gap of people that needed the same thing.
It's funny that you said that, because that is one of the things that I've been, I'm just, as we're being transparent, I have been wanting to build in for music initially, but now I want to build in for all of my projects that I'm doing.
Right.
And I have been looking at buildings. It's not easy to just get a building. I mean, I'm building on my business credit and all that type of stuff, but the process of getting buildings and getting, because I've been looking at 15,000 and up square feet.
Yeah.
Those are serious to come by. So can you tell us the process of acquiring property like that and the challenges you face? Because I know I've faced many.
Oh my God. I got outbid for 3 of them out the gate, because film is not a secret anymore.
Right.
So the people moving from LA with money, they're grabbing as soon as it's available, it's open. So preparation, I put myself in a position, I put the company in a position that when we seen what was right, we were able to attack it. So I didn't want to, but sacrifice, no balance. The first one we had to buy completely cash, or else we would have not got it. It wasn't because we had it or we want to. That was the way how to acquire it, because people were buying things left and right. And I had just got outbid for a building the week before. So it's preparation, just getting your ducks in order to be able to get it. It's commercial, so at least 20% down, and due diligence and insurance. And I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah.
So that's if you're going the buying route. If you're renting, that's a whole nother thing, because once again, film isn't a secret anymore. And so much people are filming here, where some of the big productions, they're not even shooting on studios. They're just renting warehouses for 5 years just to shoot. So it's either you move further out, or you get prepared to when that thing hits, you're right away, you're there to get it, to capitalize on it. So we were just in a place, and we were here a little bit early on too. Like I said, it started in 2017. The boom really went crazy right after COVID.
Right.
So, we already had a few things in place. I had the preparation at the time. I was 3 years ahead to get it done. So we acquired the building that we're in now and the building next door that got us to around 80,000 square feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
I sometimes think my dreams are so big because, you can't visually see it. But I know I've been had my blueprint, because I'm a visual person. So I already have the blueprint. I'm ready. But it's like it seems so far. But I know it's gonna happen, but it just seems so far away. In renting and buying it, what I've found is it's hard for me to want to put all this money into a rental that they can, after your lease is up or whatever, they can go turn around and up the price and, basically kick you out, and you done all this stuff to this building. So that's another issue that I'm personally having.
Absolutely.
But when you also look at buying it, it's so expensive. So I'm kind of like in that middle of trying to figure that part out.
Right. And I've done both. So I usually tell people to look at it like a stepping stone, right? That it'll probably be more feasible to rent it first, because it's not going to take you as much money to buy it, because you're going to have to build it out.
Right.
There's a reason why there's only a few people with studios in this world, because it's astronomically expensive and hard. It's a business thing, it's logistical, and you know, happy to say and be able to, for it to come from our minds, you know, to have the second largest, probably Black owned studio in Georgia for sure. You know, we did, we definitely did rent the first one and figured it out. So there's a lot to figure out.
Yeah.
You know, most people that just go from creatives to a building, it doesn't really, because you don't, we're just wide-eyed and say, hey, we got this to create, when no, this thing is an entity. You have to work it like a
Right.
so I would say look at it as a stepping stone. Yes, that is definitely a risk, and there's no balance. You get the first one, you turn it into what it is, you understand it, and you make that go to the other one, because you won't understand what you're getting into if you just buy the building and
Yeah.
not go through the process. It would be fairly tough. If I didn't rent the other studio, which we still have, for 5-6 years, I would have had no idea what I needed for this building. I mean, you open a studio, you gotta upgrade the power. That's first
Yeah.
and foremost. You gotta
Yeah.
have AC. Those two things right along will take you out. You know.
Yeah.
So I would tell people to just, you know, gradually do it. You don't have to go from zero to hero. Just do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you now, you just really spoke to my soul, because now I know I should definitely look into just doing the rental for the first one to get the experience behind me. Because I really was toying with that. So I'm glad that I asked you that question. And it's probably, I'm sure it's helping other people that are also thinking the way I'm thinking,
Yeah,
that are, possibly thinking about getting their own buildings and everything. So thank you for clearing that up and giving some clarity.
absolutely.
What do you think the biggest challenge facing independent filmmakers are today?
Access. How do you do it?
Hmm.
Where do you bring it to? How do you get distributed? How does someone buy your film? Where do you find money? How do you actually actualize the shot, right? Because if anybody that has done it, they will tell you at a high level, they will tell you, just because you write it, this doesn't
Hmm.
make it a shootable script.
Yep. Yep.
So, you know, that right there is what 99% of the independent filmmakers are missing: the access. Where do we shoot? Where do we have our table reads? Where do we mobilize? Where do we get film insurance? Where
Yeah.
do we get, where do we get the camera? Where do we find the crew? How do we get permits for locations?
Yes.
So these type of things. What does my script should look like? How much pages should it be?
Yes.
How many locations should we have? I could tell every independent filmmaker right now, if these are your first 5, 6, 7, 8 scripts, please stay under 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 locations.
Mm.
That is the ultimate killer of every single script. You want to be in about 83, if you're doing a feature, you want to be about 83 pages. You don't want to be 90, 100, but the locations, the company moves, that is the thing that will take out every independent film.
Yeah.
First, it's a daunting thing.
I mean, when I say dove in and had to find out, I was like, oh my God. And then don't happen to do something outside and you have to reshoot or something and oh my God, it's a lot.
It's all logistical, man. It's
Yeah.
a logistical thing. If we think about it, how hard it is. I have a film right now. Someone showed me that they want to do, and they say they have 7 people and a few dollars. And then I get off my big films where we have millions of dollars to do it, and 80 people, and they want to, achieve the same thing. So the access to it is so much harder. And then you get into the rules, music. Scoring is one thing where independents lack, because it's hard to get that, right? Licensing music, how to do it, blah, blah, blah. Then you have editing. It's so much. It's so hard for them to do it. And I commend them so much, but it's the access, and this is why we built this place. Have the access, because your member sitting next to you might be an editor. The other one that comes in at 3:00 and has coffee that you see scoring all the time with headphones, he might be a scorer. So, that the access to how to do it is very, very, very important. Where to get it. I mean, you be out there shooting gorilla and something and you get shut down.
Yeah.
It happens on big sets.
Yeah. I was too scared to do that, so I went ahead and got permits for any of the places that I did.
Absolutely.
And, I didn't want to take that chance, but it was definitely tough. I was able to, because I produce music and have a lot of friends that are in the music industry. I was able to do my own score, and then I was able to also negotiate with my friends to put their music in my project, and of course, I got my own music in there, so that was helpful. But honestly, it's like you just said, there's so many logistics behind the scenes that you don't know that could really take you out, honestly. Because
Company Moves is going to be the first one.
Yeah.
Someone told me they had a film the other day. They did a table read here, and they wanted me to executive produce, and they told me they had 22 locations. I was like, no, we can't.
22 locations.
Yeah, no, we're not. The film is not going to be made.
Yeah.
It's just unrealistic, and that's with the access. Someone to tell you, hey, let's cut these down, or can we do it all in one location? We see it now in big films. I think the latest one I seen was it was a movie, some big actors. I watched it on Amazon, but they did one location. Everything was done in a house. And I would tell people to, whoever's the writer, write what you have access to.
You know what? Exactly. That was one of the first things that I did as I was writing it. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to format this and write it according to what I do have the access to first. And then, I mean, of course, I had to go outside of that. But even with those buildings, one of the buildings, I turned it into, made it look like a restaurant in one scene. Absolutely. And then I made it look like a lounge in the other scene, because you got to be able to, I mean, you're paying for these buildings and these places. So you got to make sure that you get your money's worth and not have to travel to all these different locations.
Absolutely. And that's what we do in big film. Because if you think about it, majority of major films, we build all of it. They didn't even try to cut down on the company moves. We only go to a practical location if it has to be practical. 98% of the stuff that we see is built on set. You know, and that's another reason why VividRich helps, because let's just say, hypothetically, a writer won't write a script about a hospital because there's no way for them to run a hospital.
Yeah.
We're building a hospital now. There's access to that. We can do that. So, it's things like that, man. The access is so important, man. Like the know-how and what you have available to you is the most important thing in creating a film.
Absolutely. So can you tell me about the Win Lounge that you also have?
Yeah, the Win Lounge is the members lounge. We just called it Win Lounge.
Okay.
The Win Lounge is the members lounge, and same thing, all of it. We just named it, me and my partner Cash, we named it Win because, that's something we all want to do. Whatever a win looks like, whatever it feels like, like I said, a writer that didn't want to write a dramedy about a hospital, that loves Shonda Rhimes and everything that she did, won't write it because they don't have access. At the Win Lounge, we have access. We have a way. We can do that. We can do it all. We can do it, and the power's in the numbers. We have the numbers, and we have the people. It's very easy to get it done with this type of company here.
I love it. Okay. Well, how can people reach you and come and book your location?
So it's VividRichHQ.com. They can book a tour at any time. Our staff is always here, welcome, inviting, ready to do it, and they could book it all online. We're open from 9 to 9, Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, because creative doesn't sleep. VividRich HQ on IG, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. But they can find everything on VividRichHQ.com. Book tours, come in. I know we're going to have an event in a couple of weeks where we're just going to let people come in and use the facility and, be around and let them get a sense of how valuable this is, because there's a shift happening after this strike that it's a reset. And I would hope all the independent filmmakers took it as this is their chance to get in, other than they're being held back, because they're going to have to double up on everything now to catch up.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, VividRichHQ.com, VividRichHQ, everything.
Okay. Well, I would like to thank you so much for being a part of Transparency Talks podcast. I personally learned a lot, and I'm sure that other independent filmmakers like myself have absolutely learned a lot from you. You stay on, but with that, everybody, we are out of here. We will talk to you guys later. Peace.
Okay, thank you.